Hey, what's up, everyone? This is my second review, and I'm going to be talking about Psycho 2 this time. This is pretty much a direct sequel to the 1960 classic, directed by, of course, Alfred Hitchcock. This one is directed by Richard Franklin, who's done some other stuff that I liked. I can't think of off the top of my head what they were, but he's done a few more films that I liked. And this film stars Anthony Perkins. Came back for this one. Meg Tilly, sister of Jennifer Tilly. Vera Miles, who was also in the first film, she comes back. And Robert Loggia. And this movie was written by Tom Holland, who actually directed Child's Play, Fright Night, Stephen King's Thinner. He's done a lot of stuff, and he's written a lot of stuff too. Sorry if you hear that. That's my dog playing with something up there. But this I do like this film a lot, actually. It's basically a more fun version of Psycho. Like, not I'm going to compare it to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, but just bear with me for a second. It's kind of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 in the way that this isn't a comedy at all, but you can tell that they had fun with it. You know, it's not parodying. It's not a parody of Psycho or anything like that. Or, you know, it's not like a black comedy, but you can tell that they kind of said, okay, you know, we're not going to be able to top the first film, so let's just do our own thing with it, and they did. You know, Psycho is basically just like a slasher. It's a really good slasher. Even if you don't like the first Psycho, if you like slasher films, you probably like this movie. Anthony Perkins has a great performance in it. He also went on to do the third and fourth ones. Yeah, Psycho 2, 3, and 4 he also did. And the fourth one was like a TV movie, which wasn't very good. But it had Olivia Hussey in it for Black Christmas. And I liked her in that. I liked that film. It's okay. It's not as good as this one by far, or the first one, obviously. Psycho 3 is okay too. But this is the best sequel, though. And, you know what? I don't think they could have done much better than this. You know, for a sequel to Psycho, it's basically like, you know, making a sequel to, like, The Wizard of Oz or something, or Citizen Kane. Like, you know, the great classic movies. It's hard to do. It's kind of intimidating to try to do a sequel. But, you know, Anthony Perkins comes back in this one, of course, and he, you know, as Norman Bates, and he gives off a great performance. Meg Tilly is good in this. Vera Miles is good. She was Janet Crane's, or not Janet Crane, Janet Leigh, Marion Crane in the film, sister in the original movie, and she comes back in this one. Robert Loggia plays kind of Anthony Perkins. I'll go into the plot right now, actually, because I'm kind of wondering. Basically, Anthony Perkins is released from the mental institution, and he gets a job at a restaurant, and he meets Meg Tilly, who works at the restaurant as well, and they become friends, and you kind of wonder, like, okay, there's something going on between them, you know. Does Norman Bates like her, you know, in that way, want to kind of kill her? And Norman Bates seems like he's kind of, like, he's done. He's trying to, you know, he's sane, basically, now. He's been treated, and he's kind of just trying to restart his life, basically. Trying to restart his life, and trying to reinvent his life, basically. Trying to forget his past, pretty much. And, you know, you kind of think, okay, well, there's still something a little off about him. You know, he seems like a nice guy, but if you've seen the first Psycho, then you know that looks going to be deceiving you. So, basically, it's basically Norman Bates. You know, you're wondering, is he still you know, a psycho, or is he, you know, sane? Is someone else committing these murders? This is a gorier film than the first one. The first one isn't really bloody at all. Like, for its time, it was, but you know, um, this film definitely stepped it up. This was made in 1983, so Friday the 13th had come out. You know, all these slasher films had already come out, so you kind of, you know, the gory slashers have been invented basically. So they kind of added some gore to this, some pretty good practical effects. Um, yeah, like I was saying, Robert Loggia plays Anthony Perkins, or no, Norman Bates. Keep calling him. His kind of like, I don't know what to call it. Like, basically, his psychologist, I guess, or something. Like when Norman Bates is released from the mental institution, Robert Loggia's character kind of follows him around to make sure that everything's going okay. Kind of like the detective in the original Psycho. He's kind of like plays that same kind of character. They reminded me of each other, those characters. But this is a great movie, great sequel. Psycho's a really good movie. I love Psycho. I love the original Psycho. Great film. The remake sucks balls, but I love the original one. But you know, it's different. You know, these are different ones. Like, I like these movies in different ways. Because the first one is a great film, you know, with great performances and everything. This has great performances too, and it has a good score. First one has a good classic score as well, obviously. But basically, I like this movie because Psycho's a great movie, but this is more fun. This is just a more like a fun slasher, whereas Psycho is, you know, a deep, dramatic, you know, serious film. This is more of like a fun slasher kind of thing. And Anthony Perkins, you know, him coming back was cool. I like the film. You know, there's references to the first one, references to like Halloween, like other horror films get referenced a little bit in this, in certain scenes. Like I said, it is bloodier than the first one. Not like super gory or anything, but there's some pretty decent kills in this one. And you're kind of wondering, you know, it's kind of like a whodunit kind of thing. Because you think, you know, that Norman Bates is doing all this, but then you think, okay, well, we don't really know for sure, and you don't know for sure until the end who it is. So, it's got a good twist at the end. You know, the first film had a great twist as well, of course, but this one has a pretty good twist too. I like the cast, very well casted. Everyone does a pretty good job. Everyone does a great job in this film, actually. Well acted, well written, good score, good practical effects, good kills. It's a good sequel. You know, as far as sequels go, this is probably one of my favorite sequels to, you know, to a horror film. Yeah, I'd probably say that. This is a really good one. I really like it. Really enjoy it. Great rewatchability. I've watched this one a bunch of times, more than the first one, to be honest. So yeah, I definitely recommend Psycho 2. I recommend you pick this up if you haven't seen it. If you like the first film, check this one out. I know there's people who say, well, you know, it's not the first Psycho. It's not serious. It's not. Well, it is serious. It's just not. It's just different from the first one. You just gotta see it. You know, see the fucking thing. I don't know why. You know, just see it. So Psycho 2. Hope you enjoyed it. Tell me what you think about this review. I got more coming if you like this one. So, yeah, let me know what you think. And check out the movie because it's good. So, see you later.